Oh yeah, it's time for another action figure unboxing, and I've got Macho Man Randy Savage. And this is the NWO version of Randy Savage, or should I say hWo, because it's the Horde World Order. Yes. So they did a mashup between the wrestling faction of the New World Order and the evil Horde from Masters of the Universe. You wind up with Horde World Order. And he looks pretty sharp in this outfit. You can see that he has the Horde armor that Hordak would have. It's probably a repop of the Masters of the Universe Classics Hordak. But let's see. They tried to stop him, but the Horde World Order revived Macho Man to take over WWE Eternia. When you're hWo for life! And it's got like this really nice image of him sitting in the throne, which I believe this is actually an homage to a piece of Errol McCarthy artwork, or maybe some Alfredo Alcala of Skeletor sitting in a throne. I don't remember who exactly would have done the one I'm thinking of. And then it's got artwork on the back of you can put the mace in his hand and power posing and cross-sell artwork, yada yada yada. We've been through all this before. Let's go ahead and open up Macho Man. Macho Man! He is the first of these characters to have a variant on the card. Now, I know, like, Triple H has had two different figures, but one of those was boxed in with the Grayskull ring. And, you know, not sold separately on a card. And I guess technically you could say John Cena's had two figures, but I'm not counting that because one of them isn't John Cena. One of them is Faker John Cena, and that's a different character. That's an evil robot of John Cena, not John Cena himself. And even still, that's one that John Cena was sold with the Grayskull ring. So this is the... Macho Man winds up being the first character to have two carded figures in this line. So, kudos to you, Macho Man. May you rest in peace. Alright, so the armor is kind of rubbery. Again, like I said, I figured it was probably repopped from the Masters of the Universe Classics, or at least kind of modified from it. It doesn't look like it has any sort of tabs or anything for the cape to fit into, like that figure would have had. And that cape would have been... excuse me, well, Flemmy. That cape would have been, like, way too long for this figure anyway, since those were taller figures. And, it's got, like, a nice... I don't know if you can catch that on the camera, but this isn't plain white on the emblem. This is a kind of a pearlescent white. It looks really cool. And then he's got, you know, design on the pants, which is, really sharp on the stars, but, for whatever reason, it seems like the stripes here are a little blurry, like the paint masking was a little more sloppy Joe. So, let's go ahead and get out these accessories. And again, they're taped into the bag, so I'm going to have to cut it open. There we go. And his accessories are, he's got two of the Man-at-Arms knee pads, this time in black. Remember, the initial one had them in yellow, since that was more the 80s style of Randy Savage. And this is what's really strange to me, is that he has a mace like the other one has, but this time they repopped the Origins mace in white, whereas the other one was the Classics mace in yellow. And they also used that Classics mace for the Rock in black. And since that one's a bit larger and more imposing, I think since I have an extra, let's see, it should be in this little jar where I was keeping a bunch of Masters and WWE parts. I should have an extra one in here. It might be in my bigger bin of Masters toys. I don't think it is in here. Well, it doesn't really matter. I'll get it out later. But I can give him that black mace, and that'll work just as well. It fits in with the color scheme just as well as this white one would. Since I don't really like the old school Man-at-Arms mace as well. It's just not as imposing looking. And it's the same sculpt as the other Randy Savage. The same head sculpt. The same helmet sculpt. The helmet still doesn't fit on here very well. It just kind of loosely sits on top of his head. It doesn't really clasp on there as well as I would like. Alright, so let's put on his leg armor so we can get the full effect. Ooh, yeah. There we go. And it just kind of, straps around his knees. It would have been nice. I guess it would have been probably too expensive for them to do it that way. If one of these had have been white and the other one had have been black. So it would kind of match the pattern of the figure with having, half white, half black on the pants. So you could have switched it up some, but it's still pretty cool like this. There we go. So we got his leg armor on, and he's got a horde symbol right there. If you wanted to do a custom Hordak, you could pick up an extra one of these and use the Hordak parts, but apparently Hordak's coming soon anyway in the Origins line, so I don't know if that's really necessary at this point. Or if you want extra figures to fill out your evil horde, he's a good one to use for customs. What I would recommend doing if you were going to use him to make custom horde figures is to take some clear red acrylic paint and go over the emblem. And that way you wouldn't have to worry about too much, like, your own paintwork being too sloppy. If you just go over clear red, that'd probably be the easiest thing to do. So, definitely recommend him for any wrestling fans or Masters of the Universe fans. He turned out to be a really cool figure. Like I said, kind of my one criticism of it is I wish they had to use the Classics mold for the mace, because I like that one better. But that's a minor nitpick. So, anyway, that's it for this episode. I've still got one more of these, and I'll be having it up tomorrow. So, take care. Bye.